Alright, so here's an extension of Glitzer popping, which I showed off in a previous video. You can now make any Pokemon with this method, and to prove it, I'm going to obtain a Deoxys. So to do so, I've set up the Pomeg Berry glitch again, so that all my Pokemon have fainted. And what I've done in the boxes is, I've set up Kadabras in box 1 and 2 in the checker pattern. What's special about these Kadabras is that they all have 154 HP EVs and 1 attack EV. The Pokemon itself being Kadabra is pretty irrelevant, but I'll get back to that later. So now what I'm going to do is go into a battle, and I'm going to, once again, access Pokemon beyond slot 6. This part is still seemingly uncontrollable and random as to what it affects, but after enough tries, hopefully I'm going to get one of my Kadabras to turn into an egg. Alright, so now I'll just go back, check my boxes, and here it is, a regular egg that used to be a Kadabra. So I'm just going to withdraw that into my party, and I guess really quickly I'll get into a battle. And there it is, it's a Deoxys inside the egg. So now just bike around for a bit to hatch it. This shouldn't take too long because it's actually really close to hatching. So I'm just going to bike this one off normally. And here it is. The egg hatches. And hey presto, Deoxys. So now you know it can be done. So let me try and explain the how and the why a bit more, in a way that hopefully everybody can understand. So, a Pokemon's data is broken up into 4 different substructures that you can see here: growth, attacks, EVs and conditions, and miscellaneous. As you can see, species falls under growth, and it's the first 2 bytes of that substructure, whereas HP EVs and attack EVs are the first 2 bytes of EVs and condition. Now, these 4 substructures are read in different orders, which are dependent on the personality value of the Pokemon. So, okay, so basically you just take the personality value of the Pokemon, you divide it by 24, and whatever the remainder is determines what order it takes. And this table is a really nice guide to show what order that is. So what's actually happening to these Pokemon when they get corrupted is that 1 bit of the personality value is getting changed, and it happens in such a way that it changes the remainder, and as such, changes the order that it looks at the substructures. So from experience, I knew that it always changed by 8 or 16, or 8 either way, depending on how you look at it. So that is, if a Pokemon had a personality value that gave a remainder of 11, so it had this one, I knew it would either change to 3 or to 19, because that's 8 each way. So because of this, I wanted my Pokemon to have a remainder of either 0, 1, 6, or 7, because in all of these instances, whether they go up by 8 or by 16, where EVs and conditions were, that would put growth. So for example, on this one, on 0, if it went up by 8, you see here EVs and conditions is 3rd, and growth is 3rd here, and on 16 it is also 3rd. So, alright, so here's the save editor that I was using. Let me just bring this up real quick. Okay, so on the top here, this is called Metropolis, by the way. So on the top here, this is my save before I accessed Pokemon beyond 6 and corrupted the data, and this is after. So this is the Kadabra that I had, right? And as you can see here, it had 154 HP EVs and 1 attack EV. And this is its Pokemon ID, right here, right? The personality value. Now, I'll quickly show over here that the remainder of that is 6. right here. So that's divided by 24, leaves 0.25 behind, and 0.25 times 24 is obviously 6, right? So because it's 6, that means it has a gem as its order that it's reading the substructures, right? Now, this is what it looks like after the corruption. Oh, hang on, I have to close that. Here. So as you can see, this ID has changed. Now, it might look quite a bit different, but let me show you the actual difference between the two. Alright, so this is Kadabra's here, and as you can see, that's what it actually looks like in Hexa right here. And so if I put in Deoxys, oh whoops, that's wrong, hang on. Let me get Kadabra again. Alright, so here's Kadabra. And here's Deoxys. As you can see, only one bit changed. It just put that forward by 4, right? And now I'll prove that Deoxys' one here leaves a remainder of 0.9167, which comes out to be 22, right? Which here, you can see 22 is Mega, right? So it's changed from a gem to Mega in the order that it's reading the substructures. Just from that one bit getting changed. So that means that the attacks and the miscellaneous data have switched places, but more importantly, EVs in condition have also switched with growth. And because HP and Attack EVs are the first 2 bytes of EVs in condition, and species are the first 2 bytes of growth, as you can recall, and if you can see this on this list here, Deoxys is 410, right? As its species. So one Attack EV makes 256, right here. And then add 154, and you get 410 as Deoxys. So, by the exact same method, if my Kadabra had 153 HP EVs, it would have been Jirachi, 152, and it would have been Latios, and so on and so forth. And say you wanted a Celebi, right here, oh, down, it would need no attack EVs and 251 HP EVs. Now, that does have several other effects to it, right? This Deoxys has 4 glitch moves, and going to them ever crashes the game. I can't do anything from this point onwards, and the same thing happens in battle or in contests, etc. But if you take it to a daycare center, then the first 4 moves that it learns immediately replaces those slots. So, let me just load a save state here, where I've done exactly that. I take my Deoxys back, and it's then fully functioning with all 4 moves. Easy peasy, no problem. So yeah, you can repeat this process, and as long as you have the right personality value on a Pokemon that you do this with, you set up the numbers correctly, you can make any Pokemon you want in the game. No problem. Hope you guys enjoy, have fun with this. Hope you all have a good time glitzer popping.